Every year, the world celebrates the social, economical, cultural, and political achievements of women in various societies. And in this spirit, we are not going to be left behind. Today, we find out the history behind this day. We try to correct some misconceptions of the value and the role of the African woman in the traditional society. Obviously, we are going to celebrate some exceptional women in our communities and much, much more. Stay tuned. I am Philly Yambo Makora, and this is the Tales of Yambo. So the International Women's Day, what is the story behind it?
1910 was a first important milestone when women from over 17 countries decided at the Second International Socialist Women's Conference in Copenhagen to vote for an International Women's Day to promote women's rights everywhere in the world.
The term and the day was first made official in 1910. This came after a series of protests from working class women who took to the streets, especially in New York, and they wanted basically to get better working hours, better pay, better working conditions like their male counterparts. And the first countries that celebrated this day were Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland. After that, the rest of the globe took it upon them to celebrate this day. And until today, I think every society in this world takes this day very seriously to celebrate the achievement of women in the society. So why is this important today? Why is it important to celebrate the achievement of the woman? It's because after centuries and centuries, it has always been perceived that women were always undervalued. They were always treated differently from men, and basically they were just fighting for their equal rights. So today we just want to clarify some myths, in as much as many societies have really improved in terms of the rights of women, which these protests were justified. There's also a false representation of how the African woman was viewed in the traditional society. There's always this general assumption that in the traditional African society, the woman was always seen as inferior to the man, that she was only seen in terms of the family structure. Today, we are going to just give another side of it. On the contrary, yes, in as much as the woman was valued and was seen more in the family context, there are also women who played an important role in the traditional African society who did things that right now the women who are perceived to be empowered actually do. And this is very, very interesting. So first I'm going to start with the Dahomey Amazons. This was the army of the kingdom of Dahomey, which was made up entirely of women. How cool is that? And they even made a movie about it. If you check out The Woman Queen by Viola Davis, you're going to kind of see the events and how this army was put up together. So this is such an amazing thing that women actually were at the front line at the war to protect the society. That's a pretty boss move, isn't it? Then there is another lady, she's called Queen Nzinga of Angola. She was the leader of 2 kingdoms and played an important role in the war against the Portuguese slave trade. This was a woman, so she wasn't viewed as weak. She wasn't viewed as this person whose job is just to stay home, take care of kids. And that is before, that was pre-colonial time. Another boss lady is Queen Aminatu, who's always referred to as the Hausa Muslim Queen. And she led the region, which is now the northern part of Nigeria. And she was very much respected. And she's also given the accreditation of introducing the cultivation of kola nuts in the area. And then another one that I really love, that is the Nana Yaa Asantewaa. She led the army of the Ashanti British War of the Golden Stool in Ghana. She led an army of 5,000 men. That is a woman.
The War of the Golden Stool, also called the Ya Asantewaa War, the Third Ashanti Expedition, or the Ashanti Uprising, was the last, and seemingly major war, between the British and the Asante, in the then Gold Coast, which is now the modern-day Ghana.
So these are just a very few examples of women in the traditional African setting who went beyond this role of, yes, you are a wife, you're a mother, you have to take care of the kids. These are women who are respected. So today we are demystifying that women in the African society must always be seen in the role that's inferior to a man. That is not true. Actually, women were very, very much valued. So today, go ask your grandparents, go ask your aunties, go ask those people and find out how it used to be that day. It's just not black and white like the modern literature and the modern pop culture wants us to know. But there are also some modern African women that we are going to celebrate today. And of course, there's one that everybody knows, that is the first democratically elected female president in Africa, Sirleaf Johnson. This woman is incredible. She's won a Nobel Peace Prize and she has been praised for her great leadership skills. And then we have Dr. Wangari Maathai from Kenya, who was an environmental activist. She was the first African woman to get a Nobel Peace Prize. Her achievements are celebrated to date. And of course, the recently elected president of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu. So, come to think of it, our culture, our continent celebrates the achievements of women. But that doesn't mean that the other extreme doesn't exist. Obviously, we know in some societies, women are still not being treated the way they are supposed to be treated. But what we want to rectify today is this false narrative that in the African culture, women are just viewed one way and not the other way. You find both roles, which means a woman can be whatever she wants. She can play whichever role she wants to. However, it is also very important that we don't forget to invest in the boy child as well, because the world can only function when both sexes or all sexes are empowered. Because you cannot invest so much on the girl child and then the boy child still remains stagnant and doesn't know how to deal with this new, modern, empowered woman. So in as much as we campaign for the empowerment of the girl child, let's not forget the boy child. And finally, because we're celebrating women, I want to celebrate any woman watching this right now. I just want you to know you are a boss lady. You can be whatever it is that you want. You can play whatever role you want without any prejudice. If you want to take the traditional role of staying at home, it's fine. If you want to take the career path, it's fine. But just know one thing, not everybody is going to be okay with what you take. There'll be always people who will criticize you just like anything else. So today, as we celebrate you, I just want to encourage you to follow your dreams, follow your heart, do whatever it is you do, impact the society. Let people celebrate you when they're remembering the achievements of women. Let people remember your name because you did something for the society. That's it for today. I hope you stay tuned on our platforms. Kindly subscribe. We have amazing content for you. I am Phil Yambo Makora, and this is the Tales of Yambo.